last session of our Impact Investment Summit. This is our last panel that will be concentrated on the theme Women Leading the Way in Impact Investing. I'm especially delighted to be the moderator of this panel and to have these three esteemed guests, three great women. The lady next to me is Ms. Sebat Isik, Managing Director and Partner of the YSM Consultancy from Bahrain. Then we have Dr. Sabeta Mambenya, Country Director of the World Business Angels Investment Forum Office of Tanzania, our newly established office from 2 months ago. This is her current title, but she's much more. We will hear about it. And we have dear Huawa Yabani, the CEO of the Abuja Technology Village from Nigeria. The technology village Huawei is managing has also signed a memorandum of understanding with WBAF just last night on the stage. So all of the women here are the members of the Global Women Leaders Committee of the WBNF, and and I'm really proud to host this session. And I will just ask in the first round of the questions. I would ask each of you just to give a short presentation of you, what characterizes you the best and what brings you to WBNF.
Shall we start from the
Yes.
end or from the beginning?
Let's start from Huawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for having me on this panel. My name is Hawa. Thank you very much for having me on this panel, and I'm delighted to have Renata moderating this session, an area definitely of expertise for her. So as was introduced earlier, I am the Managing Director of a Science and Technology Park Development Project in Nigeria. That is my sort of primary role. Under this role, I also oversee a technology business incubator. It's located in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. I'm involved in several other complementary initiatives. Last year, I founded the Angel Network, the first Angel Network in Abuja, as well as a women-led investment platform that is focused in particular on linking female entrepreneurs with angel investors, and particularly female angel investors, even though obviously gentlemen will also be encouraged to invest in women-led businesses. So in a nutshell, these are my responsibilities. Of course, in addition to that, as was acknowledged earlier, I have also signed up to open the country office for WBAF in Nigeria in the coming months. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this introduction. Ms. Sebahat, what brings you from Bahrain?
Good afternoon. I am very happy to be here. Thanks to all of you. I mean, I am Turkish origin, lives in Bahrain since long back, and I consider myself, finance background, but BSc is in chemistry. And then now I own my own business. You can call it like a startup, but it is more than startup. We are really concentrating on business development and management between the companies, and mostly they are originating from Turkey or from GCC or from Europe. And we do analyze them. We do understand what is their need. According to that, we advise them what to do for future avenue. I mean, when it comes to impact investing, I think it is like a lifetime journey. We cannot just invest and forget, and it's not just giving and let it go. We need to be careful, and this is actually a woman type of investment. Therefore, I mean, you had a good choice on the topic that women, what they can do more about investing, impact investing. And impact is in, as we all know, around us. We don't have, we are not lucky enough that everything comes into play with the good sources and good results. we need to work on them to bring out the good results. We cannot have factories and then have a clean air, green life. We have to work on to have the environment green with the factories. We cannot just send them away and we cannot live in the green. This is only possible with the smart solutions, smart investment solutions. When it comes to women, because women understand this sort of environmental issues more than, I believe, men. Because they are more sensitive what's happening around them. They are more sensitive how they can solve the problems when it comes to impact. Therefore, I believe, if we get more and more women investors to understand this sort of income generation way of making them understand that impact investing is their investment tool, it would be more successful for our environment and for our life.
Thank you, Sabahat. Miss Dr. Sabeta, can you just give us a short introduction?
Thank you, Renata. I'm traditionally a banker. I've been in banking for the last more than 30 years ago, and I'm currently the WBAF country director in Tanzania. But at the same time, I have my own company called Coronation Angels in Tanzania Limited. And this is partnering with WBAF in giving out or implementing the mandates of WBAF in Tanzania in general. But otherwise, I've been former chairperson of Tanzania Trade, External Trade, and I've been managing director, the first managing director for Exim Bank, and had been there for 15 years. And after that, I moved to Covenant Bank for Women, which is targeting women finance and financial inclusion to women only. And after that, I'm now I'm the founder and CEO of the Coronation Angel Investors Tanzania.
So, Dr. Sambeta, you must be full of the interesting story, and you must be knowing many interesting women in Tanzania.
Indeed.
And this would be my next round of the questions and of the discussion, which I would like to hear.
Right.
Being a woman in Tanzania, how friendly the environment is that you are free to go out, take risk, and be an entrepreneur, and how come you were such a highly positioned official of an Exim Bank and so on as a woman? Was that normal, or was that by accident, or was that your exceptional success? Who was supporting you?
Yes.
And this kind, just tell us the environment in the country.
Right. Renata, to be sincere, my background, or maybe the environment in Tanzania, encourages every woman to just work freely, be able to implement whatever she's gifted to implement freely. In my case, I didn't go on, I didn't come to this position through anybody's back, not even anybody holding my hand. No. You
didn't need to have a rich dad or...
No.
Okay.
I just did it myself, only that I'm a person who pursues whatever idea that is conducive and that is, acceptable in the community. And if I get support, well and good. If I don't, I'll manage through to get over to wherever I've been. Maybe the position that could have been influenced was the chairmanship of the Tanzania External Trade. That one was a presidential appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't influence. I was even surprised.
And you didn't have a problems of being a woman?
No. One thing maybe that I should say, I never feel I'm a woman each time I'm performing anything.
Okay.
Yes, each time I'm given a responsibility, I don't think of being a woman, and just because I'm a woman, then maybe no. I just forget about about being a woman. I just pursue my responsibility. In fact, you've reminded me in those early days when I was appointed the first director credit in my first bank, the National Bank of Commerce. I was the only woman, and I was the first appointed director of credit in that bank. It was a national bank. And when we were going for a meeting in the board or with the chairman, there is a guy, I'm sorry, he's now late. He used to look at me, you know, strangely, but one day he asked me, "Don't you feel solid?" I said, "What do you mean solid?" He said, "Don't you feel that you are the only woman in this group?"
You mean lonely? Yeah.
And aren't you feeling lonely or intimidated? I said, "I don't feel it. I don't even realize that I'm alone." You know.
Yes, and this is the most of the alpha businesswomen, they say so. They don't think of themselves as a woman. But then there is always that trend about empowering women, motivating women, like the women are some secondary creatures. And this is what I want to raise and clarify, and this is what I want that it is recorded on this panel, because this was a discussion from this morning. We had two panels when the lady said yes, but it is different to be a woman. Woman has the children at home and so on. Yes, of course, and she needs the support. But then, as all human beings, it's like that. And but maybe it's also a heritage of Africa. Countries and societies are different. Religion have influences. Politics has influences. And I will tell my case. I'm from Croatia, and Croatia was a part of the country that was called Yugoslavia. It was like a quasi-socialist, quasi-communist country. But the characteristics, one of the good characteristics of these socialist countries was that there was gender equality. We never had that problem. In the school, we were never separated, boys separate, girls separate, or so on. So there was a 100% gender equality, and we have never felt the difference. And the girls in the Eastern socialist countries in Europe were empowered, and they were the gender inequality came after it was all merged, and it comes with capitalism. It really did. So maybe this is maybe the case was similar. So this is why I want to clarify that. Huava, how is in Nigeria?
I would say that it's quite similar, you know, in Nigeria, that I personally would never say that being a woman has been an impediment to my own personal career journey or any kind of journey that I've undertaken in life. And it may have been running in my family because my late grandmother happened to be one of the only woman out of 41 people that studied in her class at the time. This is like many years ago, and she ended up pursuing a career in community health development. So, you know, her story was very inspiring for me when I heard that she was one among, you know, 40 other men. And she stood out. She ended up, you know, being a successful community health service provider. She has on her credit many babies that she supported women to deliver safely, you know, etc. So from that point on, it came down to me that as a woman, you know, you don't have any major impediment. Of course, within the same Africa, you'd hear a lot about, you know, girl-child education, girls, women. You keep hearing it all the time, and I keep looking around and asking, why are we made this special? Is it because we're fewer? Is it because we're physically, I
Different.
don't understand it. But at the end of the day, I think that for me personally, it hasn't been an impediment. I agree completely with the saying that you're your greatest competitor. And if you take it in that you should compete with yourself first before anybody else, you find yourself constantly working towards, improving. So for me, from the choice of universities that I went to study, to the jobs that I have undertaken and I'm undertaking, I always go for what's the most challenging out of all these. What would keep me busy? What would keep me, extremely innovative and creative? And I don't think I've had a problem personally. And I would say and speak for many Nigerians, especially now where there are many, many success stories of Nigerians that have and are becoming ministers in the cabinets. They are inspiring novelists and being recognized by the world's best platforms that recognize successes, and so on. So I even in business, there are many, many women that you'd read of. Africa's Africa's richest female billionaire, is Nigerian. So really, there are many, many success stories from Nigeria.
And your model would then be your grandmother.
She's
As
one,
a
but there are
Nigerian
many, many
woman.
others.
You have many others, okay. Ms. Sabahat, so you are from Turkey, working in Bahrain. Can you compare it?
Yes.
With regard to this discussion we are
Okay.
having.
First of all, when I looked at the email, when I received the email, the topic is like women leading the way in impact investing. I said, another empowerment issue. Then I said, because as you mentioned very well, I grew up in a family with the last child of my family and as a girl, and I did not receive any gender differences in my environment. When I arrived Bahrain as a female, I did not receive any gender differences in Bahrain. And when it comes to 2000, when I appointed as a branch manager in Bahrain by Central Bank of Bahrain, I did not receive any comment on my gender. They looked at my CV and then they said she's eligible to run the branch. And I was so happy for the fact that I am the branch manager, but I never thought that I am female branch manager. Then later stage, there were some appointees as an ambassador in Bahrain and they told me, oh, you know that you are the first one in Bahrain as a branch manager. I said, I never noticed, I never discussed. Anyway, generally speaking, in Bahrain, not only in Bahrain, I can see now even in Turkey, women empowerment is a topic. Actually, in here, our topic is impact investing, how women can enhance impact investing. Therefore, I don't want to go out from our topic as a women empowerment topic. I really, admire people who are really coming out from their comfort zone. As Ms. Alatan said in the morning, if you have a will, there is a way to achieve. And of course, there are some areas, each and every country, even in the West, there might be some problems coming from the families or coming from the neighborhood. But I believe, the gender difference is not in our topic as an impact investing. But it's a positive influence on investing side of impact.
So is it do you think that women are more talented to push for the impact themes?
Yes.
And from that mathematics, empowering women would empowering impact themes.
Exactly.
What do you think, Dr. Sabeta? Would that be true? And why would that be linked to women impact?
But before you start, don't think that I am underestimating what you did.
What do you mean?
You achieved this in your... I am proud of you.
My dear.
I am proud of you.
That was history.
Yes.
We are now talking about...
Exactly.
Women.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for your comment.
I think, Renata, that given the arena, given the stage, women can effect the social impact, finance or inclusion, whatever, is the opportunity available that is once given to a woman, she will definitely do it and perform. As you're saying, you didn't realize that you were a woman when you were given a a position in central bank. And the same, I'm sure, applies to any woman who believes in herself and as a performer to implement earnestly and energetically. So back to your question, that once women are given this task or this opportunity to implement the social impact, finance or financial inclusion, they'll do it, right? What they need is open door, opportunity. You are given the arena and then you perform. Although, of course, in in some cases, we don't expect to appoint ourselves. We want to be given a task. And that's why it takes so long for a woman to accept something. Because one, we think about challenge, but if you put challenge aside, then you're a soldier and you are happy to be soldier. So if you are given a chance, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's biologically determined, or is it our choice?
I don't think it's biological. Well, in a sense, you could call it biological by the fact that a woman is, I wouldn't call her not confident in the first instance. As I said, we want to be given opportunity. We are not...
Isn't that personal and not gender related? I think this is personal.
It is personal. So it's not biological, in other words. That's what I'm saying. It's not biological. Or what people or the society is deciding or commenting on us or thinking about us is personal. They have a figure, yeah, in mind. So, oh, that. And then they conclusively say women are. It's not biological, I believe.
Okay. Huava, what would you say? Is it more to be expected that the women would push more for the impact investment, understand more of the impact businesses, sustain longer with these ideas, be more patient?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Even though interestingly it will be very funny if you're asked why do you agree with it. Because you probably don't even want to say why you agree with it, but in a way
You
it's
feel
the
it.
reality of it, that as women, we somehow are the more nurturing of the genders. In that case, I guess, can be potentially a lot more patient, can also care more beyond what's immediate, probably make commercial consideration take a secondary position as opposed to primary in some cases. So you find that women potentially can be a lot more accommodating of these than men, and therefore it better places a woman to be successful in social impact investing, I would say.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just a comment. That why do we have to say that she has to have an arena? The doors have to be open for her. I mean, because now the trend is changing. They don't want the doors to be open for them. They are capable enough to open their doors themselves. They are getting more aware and they are more confident now. Time is changing. I mean, so like labeling the women that the doors have to be opened for them, I mean, I have a question mark on that. And secondly,
That's positive impact.
Okay, yeah. That's nice. Thank you for the comment.
Thank you.
I'll clarify.
And
Dr.
second
Sheila.
comment
Yeah, you
is-
have to rephrase a
Yes,
bit.
yes,
I will
just to
clarify that.
rephrase it. And secondly, because I mean, this is my experience that I have seen women changing now. And the second thing is that they are patient, yes. They have they can absorb much more than men, yes. But whether they are also committed with the impact, I can't say. I mean,
you can't say or
I
see.
can't say.
See.
You know, the one thing is that this is biological with them, that they nurture. So they will stick to the business, they will stick to their project, and they will nurture it. They will take longer to get rid of it. They will take longer to change it. But whether they stick to the idea of its impact, how much impact it is producing, that is a questionable thing. Maybe her project is not producing an impact, but she's still sticking to it because of her nature. This can be compared very easily to men. Men are more quicker in changing. They just get rid of it if they don't like it. If they don't, if it doesn't seem to fulfill their goals, they will change it. But women take longer. Not because they are lazy or they are not confident, but because this is their nature. They stick to the thing, they take it to the end, to the last resort, and then they change. I mean, these are the two experiences I wanted to share.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr. Sheila. So, would you, Sabata, think then that this is a good characteristic to promote impact and to educate the society on impact?
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. I mean,
And this is how women, maybe this would be the
Right.
recipe.
because like for example, right now, as we all know that there's a sustainable development goals for the world, which is going to be 2030, and the investment regarding at that sustainable development goals per year, $5 to $7 trillion, which is sometimes, I mean, when year comes for our millennial young generation take the position in the business environment, this money will be generated from investment. That investment should come mostly from the people. Those people, I believe in, mostly will be women. Because if this pattern goes with us, women will be investing more in this project, which is helping to sustainable development goals. Therefore, I believe again, the empowerment projects on women is actually serving to this
Impact
SDGs.
influence.
And we are calling now impact investing because we believe in the phrasing impact investing will give the comfort to people who are investing in this sort of business. They will know there will be outcome, they will wait maybe longer term, they will be patient, and they will not win maybe the normal investment portfolio.
But they will feel
they
good.
will feel good and they will have a reward on their investment with the return because they are helping to planet. We cannot have both. Profit and planet doesn't come into one basket. If we want to bring them in basket, we need to sacrifice from our profit, I believe.
Okay, good challenge. And good closing words, even. Huava, would you care just giving us a closing statement or a message or...
I think my closing statement will be around just things that need to be done as enablers for just women in entrepreneurship in general. In my recent and ongoing effort to establish a platform that is strictly women focused, there are things that I found that I feel, in our what regulatory requirements do to hamper businesses, I found. So it so happens that there are very strict certifications that are required for business operations in Nigeria in general. And you find that a number of women embark on businesses that can be quite capital intensive if they are required to meet up with those regulatory requirements. For instance, if they're in the production of products, they need labs. These labs need to be certified and so on. And the system doesn't seem to realize that it's an expensive venture for a single woman to have to create her own chain of facilities that would enable her to implement her business. And as a result, you find many of them ending up operating at a very low level, most times within the comforts of their homes. And most of their products and outputs end up being sold to friends and family because they can't be in shops, and this is because they can't get the certifications. So I've been thinking so hard about how best to establish co-working or co-sharing spaces, especially that are labs and such facilities that would receive accreditation, broadly speaking, and such women can then use them on a time-based type of arrangement in order for them to succeed in the various businesses that they're doing. So I think in a nutshell, I would say that there are certain constraints to women, in particular in some of the businesses that they do. I'm not saying it doesn't affect men.
It's a small businesses constraint, not just women businesses.
Not just women, yes.
Yeah.
But what I found was that there are a number of women that are into such kind of operations that require these facilities, and they're really struggling. So it's interesting that I'm beginning to look at this space and see how best to engage with various stakeholders in order for there to be, a resolution to this. Now, in terms of social impact, and I like the points that you made around women still being persistent on anything, regardless of whether it will make an impact or not. I think that they say when it's the lesser evil you're looking for, right? So if men would move on faster and women won't, and they so happen to be dealing with a business that will have impact, the woman would still stick on and it will have impact as such, and men wouldn't. So I think in comparing the two, one can still argue that women can play a stronger role in impact investment. Businesses that have impact compared to men in that regard.
Although I must say that there are some higher types of men who can also do it.
And also
Yes.
comparatively.
Yeah. Saveta, can we have your closing statement,
Yes,
please?
Firstly, let me just reword my first statement where I said they need the doors open for them, meaning the women. What I meant was given the floor, right? That's it. Not chup, you go in. No, given the floor, given the opportunity.
Outside your control.
Yeah, you see. So but by that I meant given the floor. So my last comments are that maybe we should find avenues or opportunities for women to be given the floor, even in impact investment. I'm sure they will perform, and the impact investment on women or impact investment on women will
That
be
is social, isn't it?
social impact
Yeah.
will be implemented, and it will be successful. And this is because if we don't, although you said it shouldn't be women empowerment, but we should specifically create a model whereby women will be given opportunity in the impact investment and have social impact, because themselves are social impactors. So we should give them an opportunity. In fact, I was even going to suggest that where innovation is concerned, then we should have innovation centers for women startups, hubs, incubators for women startups and such, to just facilitate them to implement this impact investment. And we could even have a women WBAF, there's no harm. And to just let them come, because this will be sort of a magnet to let them come up and be able to show that.
Opening of the platform.
Yes.
Thank you,
Can
Dr.
I just
Sabeta.
add
Yes, Sebahat, of
some
course.
last sentence,
Yes.
because you know in
Tell us
Turkey
your-
we have a saying,
Yes,
female birds
right,
makes the nest.
right.
Yeah. Yes.
Then we have to trust ourselves, I think,
Right,
and then once we trust ourselves, then we can make the nest for anything and
Right,
everything.
Right, right.
Then if we do the nest correctly, and of course we will take the investment, maybe we will be the investor at the end.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very
Good.
much.
Thank you for the closing words.
Right.
Thank you all, and have a safe trips
Thank you.
back home.
you.
And this is the end of the Impact Investment
Thank
Summit.
you. We appreciate that.
And yeah.